Hello. I'm Barry Schmaltz. You're listening at the albums there. You're listening to them, actually. Why do I sound disjointed? Why is there smoke coming out my mouth there? Because we're listening to Painfully Lame. Painfully Lame. And what is Painfully Lame? Painfully Lame is the second album in the cycle that starts with The Grand Insignificance. Pretty funky, pretty insinuating. Everybody dances a little, Barry Schmaltz style. Oh yeah. All right then. Oh yeah there. All right, so I don't want to blow it for you, but then they did the next song called Do a Little Bit. And it doesn't say what, because they're choking a little. We don't want to insinuate because, people get touchy on the subject, but you could see what the cat there is doing. So I wasn't sure that was the intention. So they went ahead and recorded this thing without me. They said I was going to be on it. Where were they? So they do this. Anyway, I was very good-natured about it. I didn't say a word. Do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, and they were funky. So, all right. Next track, very important.
I moved here from New York.
That guy. You know who that is? You'll hear more from him later. He started out on the saxophone. He moved here from New York. I'll give you a hint. Later on, he plays the trombone, huh? Hats off to him. We work with him a lot. Anyway, this guy. He moved here from New York, and so on. All right, so it's still a pretty good album so far, right? Then they get crazy. Then they say, in the future, just groove, no tonal center. What does that mean? It means that nothing is on key, like it bounces around, like you're not sure where the song is, and everything sounds like this, then here, there, and all over like that, like tone rows, if you know about your Schoenberg and all of that stuff. In the future, it's all groove and no harmonic move. There's no emotion under it. It's just, then nobody knows what's good. And the interesting thing, people love these pre-programmed atrocities. If I might just extemporize on this a little for a moment there, this is very prophetic. This is happening right now. People are listening to stuff, I don't know what they're listening to, and they don't seem to know the difference between what's music and with harmony and beauty and what is not. So, personally, me, Barry Schmaltz, I say that this album in its time, which to me, it's only a couple of years old now. This album is like 2 years old at this date, at this time. But that not for anything. At the time, we thought it was kind of a little out there, and it's like cautionary example. Beware. Anyway, not to belabor or begrudge, harbor a harbinger of something. Anyway, they got some great songs on here. Like, listen, go to Jam It. Come on. Funky, but atonal funk jam. Got very popular very suddenly, right?
Jazz it in the future. Gonna jazz it in the future. We're gonna jazz it in the past.
These are pretty funky, right? All right, so this is a good one. It has time changes and everything. This one's even better.
Here's a little song about how funky I am.
How funky is that?
I'm too funky.
He's too funky. That's what he is.
I'm too funky. Funky! That's what I am.
And so on, in that vein. Hold on. After that, they talk about the atonal, and they call it Give Back the Funk. And it's another funk jam. Again with the atonal. I'm bringing it up close to the mic so you could hear the atonality. And by atonal, I guess I mean that's not right because it is tonal. It's just not relevant to a specific tonal center, like a key center. So it's, the language is deficient. Anyway, it's good so far, but you know what? You got one more song, and it's still cool. but you get where they're coming from, and you see where they're going. It's all the same stuff by now. This is the refrigerator. What's in the refrigerator?
Wasn't much to see.
Wasn't much to see. It's crazy. With all the bouncing, bell popping sounds, dings, and pops. Anyway. Hold on. All right, anyway, so then and actually the next song is actually a sequel to the Dry Shampoo song. This one's even better. So not for anything. This is the classic one because it starts out talking about with the dry shampoo. Here, listen.
So I went shopping for some dry shampoo.
Dry shampoo.
Didn't know what it was.
Dry shampoo.
Didn't know what to do.
So forth. All right, it's an adventure story. Mail or I don't want to give it all away. Hold on.
Now I have some.
All right, so then the next song is like you feel a little guilty, and he says, "How can you do this to people? Like with this crap, this musical crap." All right, it's not loading, and there it is. It's more of the same, but by now you're bored. It's one too many. And then
How could
the heat shut off. That's beautiful. This is taking forever here. And then you got Trying Too Hard, which is more of the same. And by then you've really had it with this genre. All right? All right, so then where does this leave us? This leaves us with the title track, Painfully Lame, which is done in the style of Pink Floyd. Sort of. Like Comfortably Numb. And they bring that to your attention in the context of the song. They talk about it. And the complaint is the title track. And summing it all up, the complaint is basically, when did all this automated crap get cool? When did we stop listening to musicians? And when did we start listening to things that somebody programmed into a machine? And we're happy with that. And the point of making this sound ugly like this was to point out that, hey, it's made by a machine and we're subverting the will of the programmer by doing that. So it's, it's a heavy point and it's ponderous, and after a while so this one at least has some tonal center, but do they make their mark? Hard to say. They sound a little more like the Bee Gees than Pink Floyd. Still, it might entertain those of you who like both. I don't know. Anyway, goes on. You think it's over, but it's not. Hold on. Then you got that RPG song, which I don't even remember, quite frankly. Oh, it's more of that automated stuff. Oh, here's a good one, Nuke Vesuvius, in which, believe it or not, they exhort you to put a nuclear warhead down the mouth of Mount Vesuvius and blow it all up. I suppose for fun. And that's the whole thing. Nuke Vesuvius, Nuke Vesuvius, Nuke Vesuvius, Nuke Vesuvius, and it goes on like that. All right, and then to hammer it in beyond measure, another song that sounds like this, like you've had it, okay? So then you know what? Guess what? They knew they had nothing. They knew they had nothing, and they called me Barry Schmaltz. And I explained right here.
And it was supposed to be great. Instead, it
Right.
was kind of boring.
It wasn't good. And so they got me, Barry Schmaltz, and I made it great. I made this album great. Barry Schmaltz. You gotta love it. You gotta love me, Barry Schmaltz. He even said so right there. All right. I don't want to give away the ending, but I'm on that too.
Really excited about this
With
interview.
Pitchy and Shifty and that foppish guy and
We're all gathered here.
all these people. I don't know, Charlotte Lamprey was there. And I can't even recognize all the voices. I don't know. There was a lot of us there. And then we do a blues. And it's a happy ending for all. So, that's it. Painfully lame. You could call it anti-music. You could call it a plea against anti-music. You could say it's using it for a purpose, so to call people's attention to the fact that, of course, first of all, it's free associated. Second of all, what are you doing? All right, I can't listen to this. Hold on. All right, there. Very nice. Anyway. Barry Schmaltz telling you the thing that you want to hear about this because it is important to you and you need to know. If you're going to listen to these albums, you want to know what they're about and how you got there, right? Because otherwise you're going to say, what is this crap, and shut it off. So before you do that, spend a few minutes with me, Barry Schmaltz, and I'll tell you about him, and then you can decide if you don't even want to put him on in the first place. I'll save you some time, huh? All right, good. Remember, if you ever get lost, come to my address, which is barryschmaltz.com. That's a virtual address, as you would find on the World Wide Web, the great intermediary of experience. And we love it because we're on it. barryschmaltz.com.